Good morning and welcome to KidNuz, generously sponsored today by the Hogues of Lenoir City, Tennessee, to say happy birthday to Cooper, who turned 10 yesterday. Cooper, your dad, mom, Lincoln, and Brenna adore you and are so excited to see what double digits bring. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, May 1st, otherwise known as May Day, and we begin with a Michigan 7th grader grabbing the wheel and saving the day. Dylan Reeves was riding the bus to Lewis E. Carter Middle School with 65 of his classmates last week when the driver passed out. She had already let dispatchers know she wasn't feeling well and would be pulling over, but she lost consciousness before she could do that. Video shows Dylan jumping out of his seat and taking control of the bus with enough composure to not slam on the brakes, but press them slowly. The driver is okay, as are all the kids on the bus, and now Dylan is something of a hometown hero. The superintendent of Dillon School District calls it an extraordinary act of courage, while his parents proudly told CNN he's our little hero. It's May, which means an annual turf war is about to begin over lawn care. No Mow May began in Great Britain a few years ago and is gaining ground and grass in other countries, including the U.S. The idea is to let those beautiful blades of green grow into an unruly mess to give bees and other pollinators a healthy post-winter feast. Look for pop-up signs that say, "Pardon the weeds, we're feeding the bees." But as the Wall Street Journal reports, No Mow May is not for everyone. Some towns frown on the shaggy, raggy look that it creates. Home improvement expert Bob Vila has a few options. Mow your grass, but leave a small, out-of-the-way patch uncut. Use containers to plant a pollinator garden or landscape with bee-friendly shrubs and trees. Early this morning, an 11th-hour buyer stepped up to purchase First Republic, which is now the third U.S. bank to go bust this year. First Republic shares tumbled 75% last week after it disclosed that customers recently withdrew $102 billion, which is more than half of its deposits. A half dozen banks put in offers to buy the bank and its problems over the weekend, and JP Chase came out on top. That means anyone who was banking with First Republic is now a customer of JP Chase. First Republic is the second largest bank in American history to go under. Are you fascinated by space and fancy yourself a citizen scientist? If so, NASA needs your help deciphering the cosmic sounds that exist between the Sun and Earth. The project is called HAARP, or Heliophysics Audified Resonances in Plasmas. Researchers use technology to turn space noises we normally can't hear into audible whooshes, whistles, squiggles, and crunches in the hope of finding unique features or patterns. As a HAARP team member explains, everyone hears the world differently. We want people to discover things that we never considered or that computer algorithms would not be able to detect. That's how discoveries are made. The results will help scientists better understand space weather, how the solar wind interacts with Earth's magnetic field, all kinds of things. If you'd like to help, visit the HAARP website at listen.spacescience.org. In today's KidNuz notes, it's official. The Super Mario Brothers movie is now the first film of the year to cross the $1 billion milestone at the global box office. According to Variety, it's only the fifth movie of pandemic times to join the $1 billion club, following Spider-Man: No Way Home, Top Gun: Maverick, Jurassic World Dominion, and Avatar: The Way of Water. As we mentioned at the top of the podcast, today is May 1st, which is also known as May Day around the world, but has different meanings in different places. In some, it's a celebration of spring with maypole dancing and flowers, and in others, it's a day to honor workers and the labor movement in general. That's it for KidNuz. Now, our KidNuz quiz. The young hero who brought a Michigan school bus to a stop was in what grade? Seventh. This month's bee-friendly lawn movement is known as what? No Mow May. All eyes are now on which struggling U.S. bank? First Republic. NASA wants help listening for what? Space sounds. In today's Kid News Kicker, a British zoo may have solved its aggressive bird problem. Blackpool is on the coast about 30 miles from Liverpool, and it's long had an issue with seagulls dive-bombing visitors to steal hot dogs and hamburgers right from their hands. According to the Wall Street Journal, the zoo tried lots of things to manage the menace, but nothing worked until management put a human in a giant 6-foot eagle costume to try and spook the seagulls. Bingo! The seagulls did a lot of staring, but no stealing. Now the zoo is looking for 5 people to be on-site eagles and even offered a spot to carpool karaoke star James Corden, now that he'll be back in the UK with a lot of retirement time on his hands. Thanks again to the Hogue family of Lenoir City, Tennessee for underwriting today's episode, and a shout out to Cooper, who celebrated his 10th birthday yesterday. Our entire Kid News team hopes you had a great day. And before we go, we want to shout out our Kid News classrooms, Ms. Sanders and her Timberwolves at Midland and Lakin, Illinois, Ms. Cronin and her Spartans at the Webb School of Knoxville in Knoxville, Tennessee, Mrs. Widener and her Wolves at Westerly Creek in Denver, Colorado, Mrs. Patrick and her Bobcats at Edo River Academy in Hillsborough, North Carolina, and Ms. Payan and her Crow Cougars at the Crow Leadership Academy in Arlington, Texas. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here for more Kid News tomorrow morning.